Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the video that Julia Adams kind of created, her top product from each brand. However, I'm going to split it into two parts because I'm an eyeshadow gal and I feel like those would win every time. So I'm going to separate my favorite eyeshadows from each brand and then favorite eyeshadow. Then a favorite product, non-eyeshadow palette from each brand. So today we are going to do the eyeshadow palette version of this video. Otherwise, it's just too hard. And I love doing videos like this. I love watching videos like this. So let's just get started, shall we? For my first brand is Charlotte Tilbury. I have a handful of eyeshadow palettes from Miss Charlotte. Today is the Smoky Eyes Are Forever palette. Looks like this. And this one is my favorite palette from Charlotte Tilbury, just because of the variety and the quality that you get in these. Not that the quality isn't there. In her quads, they definitely are, but for the price, the quads are like $53. This is $75, and you just get more bang for your buck when it comes to these palettes. This is the only kind of larger palette that I have from Charlotte. But I just love the little groupings. I love this, the greens, the warms, and like this kind of trio of shadows. This shade is just insanity. It gives you that glowy eye look that is like Charlotte's signature. So that is why this one is my favorite. Let's do Revlon. From Revlon, I have 5. Yes, I can count. I have 5 palettes from Revlon. I have one of the cream eyeshadows. This one is Not Just Nude. These are all cream shadows. I absolutely love this one. Then I have this one. I've never tried it, but it is a quad. This one is in Stylish. Looks like that. Very cute. Never used it, so obviously that's not going to be the favorite. And then I have 3 of these So Fierce palettes from them. This one is That's a Dub. I really don't know what that means, but it looks like this. These are all of that kind of baked formula. This one is, oh, the shadow just popped out. No one worry, we hold it tight. Slight Flex. Really, really pretty. And this one is in Tantrum. And my favorite is this one. This one is the newest one. I just gotta swatch these for you. Like, they have a luxurious quality to them that is so beautiful. Like, here are the swatches of this one. Look at just how glowy they are. I absolutely love this. And this is like the best inner corner shade. I'm wearing it on my inner corners today. But yeah, the one in Tantrum is my favorite palette from Revlon. I hope you like this hair today. I'm just feeling so lazy and I just can't be bothered. Anyway, let's do Huda Beauty next. My favorite is definitely the Mercury Retrograde palette. This is like her only larger palette that I've ever been drawn to, and it is stunning. The textures in this palette are beautiful. When she nails it, like she nails it. But yeah, like these metallic shades, like this one is like Holy Moses. Look at that. It's so pretty. I just love the color story. I love the packaging. I've heard a lot of good things of that Rose Quartz palette, but it just I just don't know about it. It looks so washed out in the photos, but this is my favorite Huda Beauty palette. So let's do Colourpop next. Still to this day from Colourpop, they have done amazing palettes. But in recent years, they have really lost my interest. But this palette here, the Dream Street palette with Kathleen Lights, is still, to this day, my favorite Colourpop palette. I love the packaging, the color story. The color story is bomb and beautiful. I love this palette. This was one of my first Colourpop palettes too. This one is still my favorite from Colourpop. Next, we will do Beauty Bay. This one is a little random. Oh my God, how did this happen? But from Beauty Bay, I have enough to make this into the video. I have the Nikki Tutorials Beauty Bay palette, the Me, Myself, and Mitchell palette, and I have their Utopia palette and their Pastels palette. But my favorite is definitely the Book of Magic palette. I love the color story, and I love their formula so much. Like, look at that. It looks like it's showing up green in the camera, but to me it looks like a red and reddish purple. So beautiful. I love this palette, and I love Beauty Bay's formula, but they just haven't had a palette recently that I've been drawn to. Next, let's talk about Anastasia Beverly Hills, another brand who has ceased to keep my interest. So for Anastasia Beverly Hills, I have three of their Norvina palettes. I have the 1, 2, and 3 of those larger palettes, which I love. Don't use them that much anymore, but I love those. And then I have Modern Renaissance, Soft Glam, the Prism palette, Subculture, and the original Norvina palette. This one, oh my god. I remember seeing it on Instagram and I just about lost my shiz. This is back when Anastasia palettes, like I was in there. I was in it. I was there waiting for a palette to drop every single day. But I don't know when they fell off for me, but they sure as hell did. But this palette, I just love. I love the row of mattes, and I love this row of metallics. Even though a couple, I think especially this one really burned my eye. But I love this palette. This is my favorite ABH palette to exist. It was close. This one and the Prism palette, it was a close one. Just because the Prism palette is so different, and it was very different for them. The last two brands are Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona. For Natasha Denona, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 of her minis. I have the Biba palette. I have the Trio Chrome palette. I have the Glam, the Bronze, and the Midi Zendo palette. Is that it? And I have the Glam Face and Eye palette, but my favorite palette from Natasha Denona is by far maybe not by far. Biba is up there, is the Gold palette. Holy smokes, is this just gorgeous, because it is just, I don't even know. And I will never not talk about how excited I am to have this in my collection, because I thought it was lost forever. I thought it was lost forever. I thought, why would I pay $129 for an eyeshadow palette? But then I did 2 more times when I got the Trio Chrome and the Biba palette. Dangerous game, kids. But this is absolutely gorgeous. I just love her formula, and I just love the color story. This blue, the greens in this, oh my god. Everything to me. And then lastly, we have Pat McGrath. She holds a special place in my heart. I remember splurging on my first palette from her, and it was terrifying. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for your everyday gal. But I have 4 motherships, and I have a couple of quads, but my favorite, my OG Bronze Seduction. And it's hard. It's really hard, because Utopian Dreams is so beautiful. Subversive was, like, at one point my favorite, but it's definitely this one. Mostly because this shade, I love throwing this on top of any eye look that I do. And once, like, there's a significant dip in this shade, and once it's gone, I'm going to spend $125 to replace it. And I love the packaging. I just love how luxurious this palette is, and like her palettes are. Oh, but she creates magic, and she makes me excited. Hear that, Pat? You make me excited. But I think that's it. I have a couple of palettes from brands here and there. A lot of palettes I have just like 1 or 2 from, so they didn't really make the cut for this video. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe before you go. It'd mean a lot. And I will see ya in the next one.